welcome back, everybody, to Joe the Shirt's Off the Cuff, the Hollyween special.
Hollyween?
Hollyween, yes. It's Hollyween.
Hollyween.
This is Hollyween.
I had no idea, but all right.
Joining me today is my girlfriend, the Russian. Decided to do 2 shows today, in part because for the first time in a long time, we're not going out for Halloween this year.
Yes.
Problem being because I'm still on the sick side. She gave me the sickness.
Well, you took it.
Yeah.
Willingly, I might add.
That's right. And really, we're tired.
Yeah, we're all, you know what? And the novelty has worn off. We were doing a count. We did it for 8 years.
8 years, yeah.
At least.
For me, the novelty hasn't worn off. Really, physically, I'm just really tired this year.
You're still sick.
I'm still sick. I'm still drained. I mean, shit. The last 2 days, I slept over 8 hours, which I almost never do.
And I've been working over 12 hours every day this week, so
it's
a little tired.
Yeah, but we did set up the house for Halloween.
Yes, we did. You did an awesome job.
Thank you.
I kind of,
we'll
made special requests,
we'll hopefully be posting pictures, maybe some video.
But I did carve a pumpkin.
Yes, we did carve our pumpkins.
I suck at it, but I carved one anyway.
Mm-hmm. We have a 7-foot scarecrow.
That took you, about a week to put
together?
together?
Took me about a week to put together, to get it right.
Right, to get it the way you wanted it to look.
Exactly. And
he's freaky looking.
Yeah. And we have in front of our unit here in the condominium, we have a big old spider web.
Yes, with all kinds of goodies.
Right, with spiders and fingers and teeth. And we have
yuck.
In the house, we have a phantom in the corner, and we have a skeleton half angel flying around. And we have bats outside.
Yeah, you gave him wings, my God. And we have a little cauldron with candies just in case. Somebody rings our doorbell.
This is West Hollywood, which is why I'm calling it Hollyween.
Yes.
It is the world's biggest Halloween party.
Yes.
We do it every year, and it's worth doing at least once. We've done it 8 times.
Yeah.
And you will see all manner of people out there, especially the popo. You'll definitely see them all over the place. Yeah,
because they estimate 300,000 to 500,000 people in a 2-mile radius.
It's a 1 mile stretch.
But remember, it goes sideways as well. It goes north-south. East-west is 1 mile.
East-west is the 1 mile.
But they've got stuff going down San Vicente to Melrose. Let's say 1.5 mile radius. 300,000 to 500,000 people.
Right, you have to...
And also remember the bandstands. They're performers.
Right, yeah, bandstands, performers, there's food, there's games, and of course there's people in some of the most elaborate costumes you're ever going to see.
Yes, absolutely.
We're talking about multiple people sharing one costume, multiple people sharing a theme.
Yes.
Like The Wizard of Oz a couple of years ago was really popular because of that play Wicked came out out here. So everybody's dressed up as Dorothy and the Wicked Witch. All of a sudden, the Wicked Witch is cool.
Well, yeah.
What else? And we got the people that dress up. I mean, that you don't even recognize them as human.
Yes.
People that dress up their dogs. People actually bring their kids to this, which I don't see why you would want to.
I would never recommend it, especially they're bringing them in strollers.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous to me because we're talking about a human crush. We're talking about, because it's on Santa Monica Boulevard here in West Hollywood, and Santa Monica Boulevard is a very large boulevard. We're talking, what is it like? With the parking spaces included, we're talking about 6 lanes of traffic.
Yes, and then let's not forget the widened sidewalks.
Widened sidewalks and middle islands as well.
Right.
So it is a really, really big street. And even so...
Oh, it is the very first year, we could barely move through. We were literally carried. It was as if you were at a really, really popular rock concert.
Yeah.
You might as well have been just carried up.
Right, like you were in a mosh pit, basically.
Yeah.
And
I don't like that.
It was really weird because I could have sworn I got engaged a few times while I was going through there.
You might have most likely to men.
Most likely.
I was propositioned by a whole bunch of people.
Oh, yeah. I had women like baring their teeth at me and sticking their tongues out at me, and gay guy. One guy was like actually grabbed my hand, wanted me to go with him while I was holding onto your hand.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah,
they're loaded.
Yeah, they are.
They're drugs, booze.
Yep.
These people, for the most part, are really loaded. They start out loaded before they get there, and then they continue to get loaded, and that's why. Maybe I should say that to the end.
Now this is a phenomenon that I was unaware of before I came out here. I'm a New Yorker. I had no idea that they've been doing this since '87.
Yes.
Apparently started by drag queens, according to Vicky.
Okay.
You know, and according to her, straight people have taken it over. No, they fucking haven't.
Oh God, no.
Oh,
the best costumes are still on all the gay people.
Oh, the gay guys,
especially the guys,
the drag queens. Oh yeah.
The women are good, but it's the guys.
Yeah, and what's really funny is they'll have like strippers, go-go dancers, both male and female, all through the place. Really, go online and look up West Hollywood Hollyween. Just look it up. You will see images that you're not going to see anywhere else. I mean, not in New York City, not in Chicago, not in Boston.
I don't remember if San Francisco does one.
I think they do, but it's still not on this level.
Primarily, I got to tell you, they don't have quite the space that we do.
Mm.
They have actually, when it comes to gay event origins, San Francisco is more of a pioneer than we are.
Yes.
But because of the way the city is structured and built, they just don't have the space.
No.
They'd have to go off-site to do the caliber that we're able to do here.
Right, the size, the
magnitude, it's just not there.
It's massive here. And there's still not enough room.
Oh, God, no.
There's still just
not
enough room.
Although apparently, from what I remember reading last year, the total number of people that attended was actually lower than they anticipated.
Well, that's because it was on a Wednesday.
Well, yeah, and tonight it's on Thursday, and a lot of people are taking tomorrow off.
Exactly.
Like I am.
That's right.
Even though we're not going out, I do not want to deal with it.
No. I mean, if you'd gotten into work today, you would... Leaving at your normal time, it would probably take you 3 hours to get home.
Unless I left work at 11. So I could have been in there for 4 hours.
Right. If you left at 11, you could have beaten... Because the closures here started at noon today.
But let's remember, it's officially closed at noon. They start putting up the barriers and the
prepping,
signs
all that
at about 11.
Right, and the cops were out there as early as 9 o'clock this morning.
Well, I heard choppers at 8:30.
Yeah. It is a big deal.
And the one thing that I'm gonna go along with, just like you recommend, if you've never done it, if you have the opportunity to hang out at a friend's house who lives nearby where you can walk, you do not want to drive here ever.
No.
If you have the opportunity to hang out in West Hollywood where you're walking distance, because it starts at La Cienega and goes to Doheny, do it at least once. If you like Halloween on any level, you don't have to make an elaborate costume. We've seen people who didn't have anything on. I, at the very least, would put on a mask.
Yes.
Something.
Yeah, we've put on some pretty nice costumes. I mean, I've gone on as the Joker, Two-Face. You went as Poison Ivy. You've gone as a geisha. You've gone as a witch. Covered in spider webbing.
I went as a she-devil, complete with a pitchfork.
Right, I've gone as a werewolf.
You have, right. You went
a 70s werewolf.
You went as the nerdy devil.
Last year. I went as
like
devil.
A little she-devil.
Right.
With a pitchfork. There was one year when I wore something as if I was from, was it True Blood?
Right.
Fangbangers.
Right. Fangbanger. You went as a go-go dancer one year.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, so we've done
we've done it. And the food is out of this world, incredibly bad for you.
Although last year, remember, they had the vendors go
pushed in a little bit or off sides.
Yeah.
And we are just about ready for our next break. We are sticking to a purely Halloween theme tonight. We're going to talk about more other Halloween stuff when we get back that doesn't necessarily relate to us. I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm off the cuff. Joining me today is the Russian. Happy Halloween. If it works. And we are back. For those of you who were unaware, uninitiated in what we were just playing, that was the theme from the movie Psycho. Classic horror.
Alfred Hitchcock.
That's it. You know, Alfred Hitchcock and what was the boy that starred in that movie? I always forget his name.
Right now, I can't think of it either.
Was it Perkins?
Anthony Perkins.
Anthony Perkins. What I loved about that movie so much was that he was so unassuming, so geeky,
Perfect.
so yeah. You nobody suspects him. They think that they know there's something off with him, but you never like think to yourself, he killed his mother, or she died and he kept her mummified in the attic, and now he dresses up like her and kills people.
Freaky little weirdo.
Yeah, he was a freaky little weirdo.
I think he was so perfectly cast. Now, I wish I knew the backstory of who was originally considered for the part, who turned it down. You know, the usual crap.
Yeah.
And who ultimately said, let's go with him.
Right. It's one of those movies where you would be like, they considered who for that? No way, that would have ruined the movie. Which I think is a bogus thing to say,
Because if you don't have a frame of reference like you do now, who knows?
Now, before we get into our next topic, I wanted to use celebrity birthdays.
Ooh, people born on Halloween?
Actually born on Halloween.
Ooh.
That's right. We have a few scary ones here.
Okay, let's hear.
First one is Willow Smith turns 13 today.
Okay.
You know,
Willow Smith.
Will Smith's daughter. This one's scary. This one terrifies me. Vanilla Ice is 46.
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, that's a Halloween music right there. Rob Schneider turns 50.
Wow.
Frank Iero is 32. He is a member of My Chemical Romance.
Okay.
Peter Jackson turns 52 today. You know, the director of Lord of the Rings.
Oh, my God.
Dermot Mulroney is 50.
Shit.
Adam Horvitz is 47. He's one of the Beastie Boys.
Okay.
Dan Rather is 82 years old.
Still breathing.
Yeah, he's still breathing. And my very good friend from high school, Rubel Hastu, is 43 years old today.
Okay.
It's somebody I went to. He was from Guyana, which is in South America or Central America.
I think Central.
Yeah, I
my geography sucks.
Guyana, British Guyana.
Don't look at me.
No, I don't know. But he's still in New York, I believe. Met him as an immigrant in New York City in the Bronx. I had never seen a Guyanese human being before. Looked Indian, perfectly honest to me.
Okay.
Yeah, but a nice guy, funny guy. And much like myself back then, had a full head of hair, now bald beyond words.
Okay.
Yeah, which I'm very happy for.
You're not alone.
Exactly. It's not just me. But Rubel Hastu also wanted me to mention, because I contacted him today on Facebook. I told him I was going to mention him today on the show.
Yes.
And he said, well, make sure to mention it on the new VP of, what was it? I think, now I'm forgetting. It was lawn darts or bocce ball or some fucking game that you play on a lawn with balls.
That's bocce.
Sounds like bocce ball, right?
Well, it's not cricket.
No, it's not cricket. No.
Okay.
See, now I'm forgetting it. Now I feel bad, Rubel. Sorry, my bad.
You should have written it down.
I thought I would remember it.
The only game I'm aware of.
Lawn bowling.
So it's an American version of bocce, because really,
he is the VP of his group of lawn bowlers in New York. I'm like, wow, that scares the shit out of me right now. Okay, now. One of the things that we're just talking about is Halloween movies. I mentioned Psycho. I went online. I found list of like the top 10 horror movies for Halloween.
Compiled by?
Several different sources.
Okay.
Several different sources. Now I found IMDb's source.
Okay.
Okay, I checked them. Their top 100.
Okay.
Turns out I've watched 60 of them. Which is pretty good.
Well, I wish you'd had me go through that list.
No, it's pretty good. Well, I do have some list here. I want to go through a couple of them here.
Okay, and let's see if I watched them.
Okay.
Want to start counting for me since you have the pens?
Yes.
You can just check them off.
Right. Let's see. The original Halloween, 1978.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a classic right there.
Yes.
That was such a scary movie, I think, because it was so simple.
Sometimes simple really is best.
It really was. And the whole concept
It scared the crap out of me.
but the whole concept being that this is actually a relative of yours who's a little psychotic nut as a child, grows up, and he's still a psychotic nut.
See, my personal preference, I don't mind the gore, but if it's all about the gore, I get bored really, really fast. I need some psychological mind fucking. Otherwise, it just doesn't work for me.
Now, one of my favorite parts about these kind of movies back when I was a kid was all the nudity.
Well, yes.
I mean, that was just ridiculous. It's like...
Yeah, let's get naked and kill somebody. All
it's
right.
like, okay, you guys, I'm going to take a shower. You know, it's just like ridiculous. They will find a reason to get naked.
Absolutely.
While they know that, hey, you know what? There are people, there's some guy killing us.
Yes. Okay.
Let's have sex.
All right.
Okay.
So check that out for me.
All right. See, there's one that I have not seen. I have heard of The Cabin in the Woods, 2012.
No, I
have not seen it. I heard it's very scary. So
Okay.
we're going to skip it. We're going to move to ones that we've actually seen.
All right.
How about Friday the 13th, 1980?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God, that was now that one was
And then I stopped.
with Jason in the hockey mask and all
Yeah,
that.
and then I stopped.
Those were good. You know, that one was good because in the first one, it was actually his mother killing people.
Yes.
Right, he didn't start killing people till the next movie, which is a great trivia question. Okay, if you're ever out there, and you said who was the killer in the original Friday the 13th movie, and they go Jason,
It was mommy.
they're wrong.
Okay.
Did you see Phantasm, 1979?
I believe I did.
You remember anything about it?
No specifics, but I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I did. Okay.
Now, this is the one that I've seen on a couple of lists. Suspiria, 1977. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this about a lot of movies from the late 60s to early to mid 70s, even late 70s. They were really fucking creepy, those horror movies.
Yeah.
Because so many of them dealt with, like, the devil and the occult.
Yeah, and remember, I didn't actually get to this country physically until 1978. Did not speak the language, so a lot of the older movies that I did see, I didn't see until decades after their release, and certainly not in the theaters, like Amityville Horror.
I mean, like, certainly not as a child either.
Oh, God, no.
Let's see, did you see The Descent, 2005?
No.
How about Scream?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that one is more of a modern classic. I really enjoyed that movie, not because it was scary
No.
in any way, shape, or form, but because it did such a nice homage to a lot of other movies.
Yes,
You know?
I agree.
Yeah. Let's see, this one I know we've both seen, The Shining.
Oh, God. Both. I've seen both versions.
You saw
The one with, what's it, Weber?
Steven Weber,
I think
yeah.
they did it as a miniseries.
Right, which was allegedly more true to the story.
Yeah, and I've read it, and I still prefer the Jack Nicholson one.
Well, yeah, it's Jack Nicholson. You're not going to go
he's
around
creepy.
comparing Jack Nicholson to Steven Weber, ever.
Well, also, Nicholson's just creepy, period. And so in that role, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, definitely. I've read it, I've seen it.
What was your favorite scene in that movie?
I couldn't remember. It's been so long since I've actually seen it, I don't remember the details that
No,
much.
I think for me, the scene in that movie is when his wife, goes in there and sees that all work and no play, and it's like all over the place. Makes that was for me.
Okay.
All right. Dawn of the Dead, 2004. I saw that.
Okay.
For me, like the old classic zombie movies, always for me were the most disturbing because there was such this sense of hopelessness.
Yes.
Like no matter what happened, yeah, maybe a couple of people survive at the end.
Yeah, but at the end, ultimately, everybody's
right. The zombies are still coming.
Everybody's
after you.
doomed. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Black Christmas. I did not see.
No.
Peeping Tom.
No.
Did you see Vampire?
No.
Okay, I did see that one. That's a classic black and white, I think, silent film, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very good stuff.
But we've both seen Nosferatu.
Yeah, which is the one right after this, actually.
Okay, well,
Nosferatu, subtitle A Symphony of Horror.
Yes.
Which is actually based on the original Bram Stoker's Dracula, and they were sued for that.
Really?
Yeah, because they kept the story pretty much like Dracula, the original Dracula, but they just changed like all the characters' names.
Oh.
And
That won't get you very far.
Right, and they got orders. They were ordered to not produced the movie. Then they were ordered to destroy all copies of the movie, and they just told them to go fuck themselves, and thus we all have Nosferatu to this day.
Okay, what else?
Let's see, Let the Right One In. We saw that. It's about the little girl vampire.
Oh, yes.
Who was helping
that was actually cute.
Right, who's helping the little boys getting bullied.
Yes.
It was a little weird. Not really scary, but a little weird.
Well, yeah.
Okay, and we're going to take a break now, and we'll get back to the movies when we get back. Once again, you know what? Why don't you take us out? Let us know what they're listening to.
I'm hoping it'll be the theme to Ghostbusters by Ray Parker Jr.
Something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call? There's something weird and it don't look good. Who you gonna call? I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
And we are back. If you heard any background noise there, that was us doing crystal meth. And of course, that was Ray Parker Jr. with Ghostbusters. Now, Ghostbusters is obviously not a horror movie, not a scary movie, but it's a Halloween movie, you know?
And you know what? At this point, because there's so many different types and genres, with subgenres, if you will, within horror, I think it almost at some point becomes up to the individual to go, okay, this is my favorite Halloween movie. It doesn't have to be Halloween themed.
Right.
I love Dracula with Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a vampire movie.
Right, and I love Dracula with Bela Lugosi.
Well, same here.
Great
and
stuff.
you like the original Frankenstein. But you like Young Frankenstein. But it doesn't have to be a Halloween film.
I know. I think for something to be a Halloween film, like you said, I think it's really up to the individual, because Halloween, when you really break it down in modern terms, is a child's holiday. In the United States, it's a child's holiday.
Yes.
Okay? I mean, here in West Hollywood, yeah, we got the gays and the lesbians.
It's very adult.
It's very, very adult. But in the rest of the country, it's very much a child's holiday with a lot of child's themes to it.
Yeah, you play dress up and you go out and you get candy or do stupid shit.
Which we will get to in one second. I want to go through a couple of quick other movies here.
Yeah, please.
Just a few more. This is a classic, of course. The Exorcist.
Yes.
Scared the shit out of my mother when I was a kid. She actually went to go see it. This was before she became a Jehovah's Witness. She went and saw it, and it scared the living shit right out of her.
Given the time, yeah. What the release date is? What?
That one, that was like 1970s. I don't have the release date here.
Yeah.
But,
see, we own.
Yeah, we have that one, and we saw it last year.
Yes.
And it
is. Yes.
It's creepy.
If you keep
that was 1910. It's still the occult and the devil, very big back then.
Yeah, if you keep it in its perspective in terms of when it was made and what was not available in terms of it was creepy.
Yeah,
especially when you've got the demon talking like the priest's mother. Never mind the spinning head.
Oh yeah.
No, it was when all of a sudden she's talking to him like it's his dead mother.
Yeah.
See, that freaked me completely out.
All right. No, No, I think what creeped me out on that one was when she's like, walking backwards back on the stairs and shit, and I was like, that was a great visual. And I was just like, ew.
Yeah. No, the effects were impressive for the time. What else?
The Wicker Man.
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it. I heard it's really great, but I've not seen it. Don't Look Now.
Heard
okay,
of it, but
same here. Okay, here's one that I have seen that you probably have as well. Rosemary's Baby.
oh, definitely.
Yeah, that one was really. That one's always again the occult, the devil, really big in the 60s and 70s. It was just one of those movies where you're just like everybody is actually secretly against you. You know,
No, it was very well done.
And it's
John Cassavetes and Burgess Meredith and
right.
Mia Farrow, I think. Yeah.
what was that movie actually with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Gabriel Byrne and the chick that's on The Mentalist right now?
Robin Tunney?
Yeah. It was a movie where she was
Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, where she was supposed to like be the devil's bride, and it turned out that everybody in her life was actually secretly working to make sure that she had sex with the devil to have the Antichrist.
I'm amazed. I have no
Had
clue.
Kevin Pollak in it as well.
Not a clue.
I remember the entire cast, but I can't remember the name of the fucking movie. That's okay. We'll move on. And then, of course, the last movie on this list is Psycho, which we already talked about.
Right.
It was fantastic. It was Psycho, Exorcist, and Suspiria were on quite a few lists, actually.
Suspiria.
Suspiria. So there's something for you guys to go look into right there. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of Halloween.
Uh-oh.
Now, you are from Russia, the Ukraine.
Yes.
Do they have anything like Halloween over there?
Well, they certainly didn't in communist Russia, which is where I'm from.
Right.
I have no idea if they have anything now.
All right, good. I mean, honestly, really, if you want to like scare anybody in communist Russia, just dress up like, the soldiers. That's scary enough. Just people dressed up as communist soldiers knocking on your door. That's scary enough.
Yeah, or the police.
And they would just ask you for whatever they want. We want candy and whatever else you got.
No. But no, growing up, I do not remember anything.
Now, Halloween is a contraction of All Hallows Evening.
Yes.
Celebrated on October 31st or around thereabouts. It's not necessarily... It became official here in this country back in the 1800s.
Okay.
It is celebrated on the eve of the Western Christian feast of All Hallows Day. It's actually
Isn't
a
that
religious
Day of All
holiday.
Saints?
Yeah.
November 1st is the Day of All Saints.
Yes.
Okay.
Or if you're Mexican, Dia de los Muertos.
Day of the Dead.
Okay. It initiates the Trididium of Hallowmas, which is dedicated to remembering the dead saints, martyrs, faithful departed, and believers. That's in the Christian way. From the more pagan way by the Celtics, it's still disputed.
Right, but it is still, on some level, truly a religious holiday.
Yes, on every level, actually.
Yeah. All I know is that we here in this country, because we're Americans, we make everything about it commercial.
And I have no problem with that.
No, I'm not saying I'm not raising an issue. I'm making a commentary. We do not, the people who actually participate, do not put any religious connotation to it whatsoever.
But you know what, though? We're assuming that people from back then didn't either. I mean, think about it. 1,000 years from now, people might be looking at what we're doing here in West Hollywood and think it's some big pagan religious festival and assign a lot of importance to it. And because, over here, they're talking about, the original trick-or-treating was a form of what they called guising, which is where people would paint themselves with black soot and then go to their neighbors and sing songs in exchange for food.
Okay.
Trick-or-treating, right?
Right.
Then we have some other holidays where celebrated in France, where they celebrated the Danse Macabre.
Okay.
Which is where religious people believed that the dead would rise from their graves and have this awful, disgusting festival of the dead. And what would happen is, later on, people would get together and dress up as spirits so that the dead wouldn't recognize them and try to claim them, or they would dress up like the evil spirits themselves so that they would not be bothered by them, and they would have a party. It's the origin of the original masquerade parties. Right.
No, I understand. By the way, I do have one interjection to make.
Okay, good.
When you were talking about that Halloween is basically a children's holiday, there's one movie that did not make your list that I believe is perfect, especially in view of what you said. Casper.
The Friendly Ghost?
The movie.
There you
Never
go.
mind the animated series.
Oh, yeah.
The movie. It was cute. It was a little scary. It would be a little scarier for kids, I'm sure, than
Was
for
that
us.
with Wednesday Addams?
Yes. No, but it was...
It was a very cute movie.
Yeah, but I think Casper should make a list.
Well, you know what? I think that, when it comes to Halloween movies, there's an adult list, there's a child's list, and there's a movie buffs list.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
And then there's a snobs list.
And then we'll get back to that right after our next break, which will last roughly a minute or so. I hope you enjoy this because this one's a classic.
It's astounding. Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll. But listen closely.
Not for very much longer.
I've got to keep control. Doing the time war. Drinking those moments when the blackness began me and the void to be calling. Let's do time war again. Let's do time war again. It's just a jump to the left. Let's go to the right. With your hands on your hips.
All right, and we are back.
I have a trivia question. Well,
Yeah.
not so much a trivia question, just a question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever seen this movie live in the theater?
No, I have not.
I have.
Okay.
And after that experience, I tried watching it at home. Mm-hmm. When they finally released it on video, which took forever and a day. Mm-hmm. Not the same. As much as I love the movie.
Right.
I love Tim Curry.
And Susan Sarandon,
Brandon.
baby.
Yeah. And Barry Bostwick. Oh my God, they were babies.
Mm-hmm.
In the theater with audience participation, because at least 3/4 of the audience dresses up.
Right.
I have never been so engrossed and just sucked in my entire life.
You have no choice.
Yeah, exactly. No, so there's one up on you.
All right, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's definitely one of those movies you want to watch. A lot of people would not put it on their Halloween list. A lot of the people obviously would. It's just one of those movies that it's not just like dragging horror through the muck. Mm-hmm. It's also dragging sci-fi through the muck.
A little bit.
And it's a sci-fi horror baby with a musical.
What I always found hysterical is I've lost count of how many weddings I attended where this particular song was one of the songs the band had to play for a group dance. Mm-hmm. On big fancy weddings.
Right. Well, it's
a line. I mean, it's a line dance. It's a group dance. It's whatever you want to call it. But
it's one of those songs that everybody knows. They may not know all the words, but they know it.
Yeah.
Right.
Good stuff is what it is.
Now, I will now impart. I imparted this on you earlier today. Do we have like one or two songs left?
We have one more.
Okay. This is also comes from.
Also, both our voices are getting a little tired. So
yes.
One more is probably more than adequate.
Well, we have about 10 minutes to go.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's easy. One of the things that we did this year that we do every year, and you've done since you've known me, is of course carve pumpkins,
yes.
which are known as
jack-o'-lanterns.
Jack-o'-lanterns. Now, the concept of the jack-o'-lantern comes from Ireland, where they carved turnips.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Turnips. Turnips aren't very big.
No, they're not. But it's what's available in Ireland for carving. And,
Okay.
And that's what started with it. And there's a lot of legends that come from this, where they carved the turnip to look like a monster or a demon or something to scare away evil spirits. They would light candles or fires or put candles in the turnip, which is a pretty big fucking turnip, I'm guessing.
It would have to be.
Okay, so that spirits would see the flames and go away from it, thinking those are the flames of hell.
Okay.
And move along.
Okay.
All right.
Pass over.
Right. In other times, they would actually set a place at the table for the spirits of the dearly departed, or by the fire to get warm.
Okay.
All right. The reason they use pumpkins here in the United States is because they're really big, they're really soft, and they're a lot easier to use than a turnip.
Yes.
Some
I've worked with turnips.
some countries have used potatoes.
I was thinking about that when we went to that the petting zoo thing, that huge potato,
Right.
and then potatoes can be grown rather big.
Yes, they can be, and they can be hollowed out enough and carved enough. It takes a lot more detailed work, and here in America, where children are doing most of this, it's better to use a large
Yes.
object that's easier to cut.
Although the one I dealt with last night was not so easy.
Right. Now, among all the legends of where the term jack-o'-lantern comes from, I got one from Ireland that I told you about today.
Right. And
Okay.
What else you get?
It's a story of a man named Jack who was a wicked man who engaged in drinking and carousing and womanizing and mendicanting. Mendicanting. I'd have to look that up.
Oh,
Mendicant.
You have not looked it up yet?
I know. I've looked it up years ago,
Oh.
but I have not looked. I know it's not a good term. If you want to go get the dictionary, go ahead.
Well, no, I could just look it up here.
All right, as long as it doesn't interfere with the music. But yes,
Shouldn't.
Yeah, but he's on his way home when he encounters the devil, and somehow tricks the devil into climbing up a tree. And while the devil's up in the tree, he draws the sign of the cross on the tree. Okay, you got mendicant.
Yeah. Given to begging. It's a beggar.
He's a loser, basically, is what they're saying.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so while the devil's trapped up there, Jack agrees to let him come down if the devil agrees to never claim his soul into hell. And the devil agrees. So he comes down, and of course, sooner or later, Jack dies, and his spirit has nowhere to go, because while the deal is the devil can't claim to go to hell, well, heaven doesn't want him either. He was a wicked man.
So he's in between somewhere.
So then the devil takes a coal from the bowels of hell and throws it at Jack, hitting him with it. He takes the coal because it was a little cold that night and a little dark, and puts it in a turnip.
Okay.
And walks around with it to light his way, looking for a place to rest. Jack-o'-lantern, also known as the Lantern of Jack.
Jack.
And
Interesting.
that is one of the possible legends of the term jack-o'-lantern.
Okay.
Now, when I was a kid, and when I say kid, I mean 25. Yeah. I was living in Westwood with a couple of real kids. They were like 19 and 20 years old.
Yeah.
And we were invited to go to a Halloween party. So, we all went out. We dressed up. We got drunk. And we made out with people we're never going to talk to ever again. And then I got separated from them. And I'm walking home, trying to find home.
Yeah, that's always a challenge.
And it was pretty dark. And I'm walking across the street. And I turn to my left. And I am frightened to the core. I jumped. And it turned out it was just a jack-o'-lantern.
Nice, but it would probably.
But it was pitch black except for these two eyes, a nose, and a mouth with teeth. And it was like, ah!
And it was lit up.
And I was drunk as a motherfucker, and it was drunk, and I was like, shit! And I'm like, okay, I could see how that could work on demons and evil spirits. I could see that.
Well, at least psychologically from the people putting them up, absolutely.
While we're talking about Halloween, I want to give another quick shout out to a friend of mine from high school, my buddy Jason Medina,
Okay.
who is marrying an old friend of mine, Joanne Santos. I think in April.
Whenever you told me they set a date.
Okay. And now Jason is now newly retired NYPD cop.
Okay.
On the job 23 years.
Jesus.
Yeah. And he managed to go through it without ever having to shoot anybody, kill anybody, and congratulations to him. But he loves Halloween.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah. He decorates his house. I was on the phone with him last Thursday actually.
Right.
And he was telling me, yeah, Joe, I got the whole place set up. I got 8 giant spiders. I'm like, how big is a giant spider? He's like, well, it's about 4 feet wide. I'm like, that's a giant spider. And then I got 200 cockroaches, and then another 50 big cockroaches. You know,
Ew.
and he's got his house set up with corpses set up around different rooms and traps and lights.
Well, you know the house up on Sunset that we like to go by every once in a while?
Yeah.
Remember, they've got skeletons dining. They've got rest in peace tombs sticking up
Yeah.
out of the ground. They really go all out.
But that's an estate.
It's an estate, and they have people who come and do this every
This is
year.
Jason Joanne and his dad setting up
They're-
this
they're-
house
they're
in
the crew.
Yonkers.
Is that where they live?
Yeah, they're in Yonkers now. And if you go, what's that thing it's called? I think it's called Ghost Hunters of Yonkers or Ghost Investigators of Yonkers.
Yeah.
You can see a bunch of pictures of him and his friends investigating this. I wanted to try to get them on the show as a regular bit, you know,
Right.
but he does this for himself and he doesn't want to commercialize it because apparently, according to him, Ghost Hunters on TV, it's a bullshit show.
I believe it.
And they are corrupt and they actually plant stuff and they shoot
Not a surprise.
They shoot in locations that are not the actual locations they claim they are, and they ask for fees to inspire them, you know, to get commercialism going in, to get people to go visit, and
Bullshit.
so he does it as a non-for-profit, and
You know what? I've been on the Queen Mary
yeah,
for the ghost tour.
yeah,
It's not haunted.
not haunted.
Not when I was there.
Well, I used to work at the Comedy Store, which is allegedly haunted. And I will tell you this, when I was working there answering the phones, there was an office next to me that was empty. It was always empty, and the door was always wide open.
Right?
And I always heard noises coming out of that fucking room.
I'm not saying that hauntings don't exist, but after spending like 2 hours on the Queen, no.
No.
This allegedly is where so and so was killed, and this is what, no.
Right, yeah.
No.
I
mean, I loved it, but
have you ever had a really, truly scary experience that you can't explain?
mostly in my dreams. But no, not
But not in real life?
No,
Nothing?
Not that I can, not that I can consciously recall right now. No, no, I really can't.
Let's see. When I was, I don't know if I want to call it like a really scary experience. It was just something I couldn't explain. Where one time I was watching TV on my parents' bed, and I had in front of me on the bed 3 coins, and I was alone in the house. And I got up to go to the bathroom, and I came back, and when I came back, there was only 2 coins.
Okay.
And I'm like, it was right in the middle of the bed. I didn't bounce out of the bed. It's not eerie, not scary, but I was looking. I knew there were 3 coins there.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, it was just a little weird.
No, the weirdest sensations I've ever had were the feelings of deja vu. But none of them were ever like really creepy or scary.
None of those walking over your grave kind of feelings.
No. Deja vus, yes, lots of them.
Right.
But in terms of
No, my frights have been actual frights where like something actually really happens. Like fuck,
that usually happens when I watch a movie,
Right.
or when you come in while I'm working and say something and I'm so engrossed
Right.
that I jump.
Or you get your headphones on, you're listening to something.
Yeah, and you wake up.
I put my hand on your shoulder and you hitting the
Jump
ceiling.
out of my chair. Yeah, thank you.
Fucking the dog is confused and shit.
Yeah, but no, I cannot recall any like truly spooky experiences.
Right. Well, it's never too late.
Thanks.
And let's see. It is okay here on the West Coast. It's a little after 7. We're not getting any trick or treaters again.
We live in an apartment complex.
Yeah,
Most
well,
trick-or-treaters really go to houses.
Yeah.
And like I told you, years ago before you and I even met, when one of the kids in the building was like between 8 and 11, his mom used to take him around.
Right.
Also, if anyone has come by in previous years, we were usually not here by now.
Right, that's true.
We were too busy getting ready and then getting the fuck out so we could not be in the crush.
And that is it for our show today. Thank you for listening. That was The Russian. I am Joe the Shirt, and this has been Joe the Shirt's Off the Cuff Halloween edition. Thank you for listening.